Hello and a very warm welcome to ET Studios at Brand Equity Martech Plus Summit powered by CleverTap. I'm your host Divina Lasson, and on this episode, we're going to take a deep dive into crafting hyper-personalized journeys. How exactly leading brands elevate their customer engagement. So, joining me to discuss this are very esteemed guests Abhishek Gupta, COO CleverTap, and Avi Kumar, CMO FNP. Hey, gentlemen, welcome to ET Studios. Thank you so much for joining. Such a pleasure to have you today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. So, we're here to talk about crafting hyper personalized customer experiences, the customer journey, understanding the innovation that exists in the space today as a result of MarTech and much more. So, Avi, let's kickstart with you. With your depth of experience and knowledge, what does it really take, you would say, some of the key factors involved in really understanding the customer to create that hyper personalized experience at the end of the day?
Yeah, so we are in the space of gifting.
Yes.
FNP is the leader in gifting. We have a legacy of 30 years of delighting customers, solving for the emotion that they want to deliver across the city, across cities, and across countries as well. So whenever a person thinks about gifting, what do you think about first? You want to make the other person feel special.
Yes.
You want to make them feel that there is a thought that has gone behind gifting. And you also want to make sure that your gift is unique.
Yes.
So that's a very interesting challenge to solve for. Because as FNP, we try to solve for the customer's journey from the thought of giving a gift to finding the perfect gift and then getting it delivered in the given time that they want to. So personalization and hyper-personalization play a very, very important role through the entire journey. Right from the time you start to think of a gift that I would want to give to my girlfriend, to my wife, will be very different than what I would want to give to my mother, to my father,
Sure.
or would be very different from what I would want to give to my colleague. So first and foremost, how is it the gifting need can be personalized in terms of the curation, each of the pages? How is it that we can curate it for a certain need, for a certain demand that is in the market at that point of time? From there on, how can we use the different signals that are there, right? And when I say signals, it means demographic signals, to past purchase behavior, to even the current browsing pattern, which means that what are the last 3 or 4 pages that you've seen? What are the products that you've clicked on to go onto the PDP? All of this helps us to personalize the experience. And personalization of experience actually starts from the marketing of the product, of the
Yes.
brand, which is when the person may not even know that they need a gift.
Sure.
How do you make a personal message then? And from there on, once the person is interested, excited about gifting, the person is on the platform. How do you curate the products? How do you create different gifting options in a way that there is ease of searching that gift? And from there, the entire process of personal messages from time to time on reminders when
Nice.
that occasion is coming back, to other occasions that may be relevant for the person. So I was just giving this example to someone that yes, you gifted your again wife, girlfriend on their birthday, but is that enough? If the brand can help you to remind that it is wife appreciation day and you do your little bit,
Nice.
it'll just delight her even further.
Absolutely.
So these personalization, hyper personalizations are important in business, and we use different MarTech tools to achieve it.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, surely that lends then to customer loyalty, right? At the end of the day, can you give us some examples of how you've really seen the loyalty and the engagement of your customers increase with all these processes?
So we're a brand which has a large base of loyal customers because of the trust that they have in the brand.
Yes.
To have a loyal customer base is any brand's ambition, right? And to do that, it's not an easy task, because today there are so many brands across different categories which are eyeing for the attention of the
Absolutely.
customer. And the attention is very short-lived. So you really have to make a mark in the mind of the customer and their hearts for them to remember you and then to come back to you.
Yep.
And we do that both from a point of view of on-platform journey. How is it, like I said before, how is it that we can make the entire journey of finding the right gift easier? And then when we are also conversing with you, how can we make it more personal?
Yes.
It's not just about using your name or your name in the communication when we are sending out a WhatsApp or when you are sending out an emailer. It is about how we can also put the right message, the right product that you may appreciate more than you. And from there on, the delight of having the product delivered on time every time. So that's the entire journey that brings in the loyalty of the
Yes.
customer. And there are different occasions, different use cases. Once you've got success in getting the customer to get a gift or a product delivered for one occasion, then you see how is it that you can look at multiple other occasions for them to become a part of this gifting.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you for these examples. Abhishek, let's get you in on this. So, from your perspective, again, working in the e-commerce space, but across industries, really, what does it take? How does CleverTap step in to help brands and help companies really ensure that customer loyalty stays on?
Yeah, so we as a platform, we provide a very comprehensive platform to our customers, to brands, for them to be able to create these hyper personalized experiences for their end users. Now, what that means is you should have the ability to store massive amounts of data and have it for several years. So we have a proprietary database that allows us to do that. You should be able to analyze the data to be able to identify those nuanced patterns that allow you to serve the customers better, engage them. But not only that, being able to truly delight the customers, both in terms of, because when we think about hyper personalization, the instant thought process is, okay, let's send a message. But that's just only one part of it.
Yes.
How about the experience when you're actually on the website or on an app? Because, for example, if I'm looking for something, and if the brand truly understands me, they would be able to actually show things to me. Like my interface can be different and distinct than someone else's interface, right? Like, let's take an example. I give a gifting. Gifting is a very unique category, by the way. It requires hyper personalization more than ever.
Absolutely.
Because you're in the
Yes.
business of delighting users.
Absolutely.
The product that you are selling is not the end product. The delight is what you are actually, that's the business you are in,
Yes.
right? You're in a delight business. That's the business that Avi is in. And if you take an example, like let's say someone, for example, has been buying gift for the kid. Now you have a massive amount of history. Typically what people think is, if you have the data, let's see what did you order in the past, let's try and think about it. But that's not the point. In this example, the child is growing. What they require next
Yes.
year is different and distinct from what has been gifted before. So now the brands have to be able to anticipate the need.
Yes.
And this is where technology plays a very important role, which is in the world of gifting, I think more than a lot of other categories, you have to focus on delight as an end product. And for that, you have to be able to anticipate, like you have to be able to differentiate the needs across what are the seasonal needs, what are the festive needs, what are the family oriented needs. You have different personas. Like one person gives to several people, right? Like there are a number of members in the family. Being able to differentiate between all of that.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of tech required. There is a lot of artificial intelligence and machine learning that is required
Absolutely, yeah.
for us to be able to truly deliver that end user experience. I think this is one of those businesses that I feel very excited about because here the value proposition is simple. Either way, you are in the business of creating delight.
Yes, wonderful. So, well, actually, on that note, are there any innovations that you have at FNP at the moment? And I do believe there's going to be some new usage of MarTech tools, possibly a collaboration with CleverTap. Can you give us a little insight into that?
So if you don't innovate, you die.
Yes.
So you constantly innovate in business because customer is always evolving. Their choices are continuously changing. Like Abhishek mentioned, the customer is also growing and is evolving over a period of time. So their needs will be different. And within gifting, you want to give something unique. You
Yep.
don't want to repeat what you've given earlier. So
Absolutely.
there is a very interesting differentiation there. Now, from a point of view of innovation, there are multiple. So we are doing innovations across the spectrum, starting from how is it that we are able to hyper personalize the communication for the customers who are in the market.
Yeah.
How can we go to market faster using Gen AI, using AI
Yeah.
for messages that can be delivered at the right time to the right person. at speed. That is one of the areas that we are focusing on. Once the person has or come onto the platform, how is it that we can create certain experiences which are beyond the ordinary? So
Yes.
within the e-commerce, e-commerce ecosystem, can we talk to them at a one-on-one level? Can we help them to find a gift faster through a gift finder which is enabled by
Okay.
AI?
Sure.
So that then makes it exciting,
Yes.
because you right now don't know, unlike a lot of other categories. Say you know you want to buy a LED TV, you know you want to buy
Yeah.
car for yourself. Here you just know you want to buy a gift.
Yes.
Now that gift can be
Yes.
anything. It could be
Yeah.
LED TV
Can
and
be
a
so
car
complex.
also. A gift finder which is using some of the inputs that you give, and then some of the others could be a very interesting, and we already have it on the platform. We are now working on making it much more smarter, much more intuitive for the customer. And then post purchase, how can we make the entire journey more delightful through innovations, which is where also partners like CleverTap come in. That how do you create different cohorts of customers who are there, identify these cohorts, and then create strategies to engage them? Because at the end of it, you have to solve for the customer.
Yes,
If you are
yes.
helping the customer to achieve something, to make something easier in their life, then as a brand you will stick. If you start to think that I have to sell this product, I have to sell this on this occasion, it's not going to happen. So tools like CleverTap, partners like CleverTap help us to do that. Identify those cohorts and then target them with the best channel, with the best kind of messaging, and so on and so forth, and continuously then get the feedback, both from a point of view of not only what we've already seen on the platform, but also predictive.
Nice, wonderful.
Yeah.
Abhishek, so yeah, your experience with working with e-commerce brands like FNP?
Yeah, I think see e-commerce brands. E-commerce is a very big category.
Yes, sure. Let's get into gifting
I'm
specifically.
like very particular about that, right? Because when I go and look at a quick commerce, when I look at food tech, when I look at gifting, these are all very different categories, and it's very important to recognize the differentiation.
Yes.
And when it comes to gifting business, there are two unique things which I've realized. Number one is when you think about a gift, and Avish said it, right? You don't know what product you want to gift. You have a concept in mind, you have a need in mind, and the discovery with respect to that need is very, very crucial. So the brand's ability to actually present options in front of you that resonate with you is a great starting point. Consumers are not saying that I just want one option. Share with me a set of options that I can pick from that basically satisfy my requirement with respect to that occasion, that satisfy my requirement with respect to the budget. Right, typically how much I spend, and so on and so forth. And being able to provide that curated experience. So in gifting, that curated experience plays a very pivotal role. And the second thing which is very interesting is customer retention plays a very important role in gifting, because you gift on occasions, you get gifts on there are social occasions. So there are numerous occasions that keep coming up, and this is a business where the repeat purchase has a very transformational impact, because again, practically, if you look at the average gifting, I think, and keep me honest here, Avi, I think an average person gives about 10 to 20 gifts at least in a year. So the propensity of people to come and use your platform that many times to give the gift is huge.
Absolutely.
And before you give a gift, there's a step before. You research. Imagine the time that we spend researching for a gift. Sure, the transaction is a minutes kind of thing, but the research is a very, very important part. And I think that's where the use of tech plays a very important role. Like taking an example, right? Let's say if someone's birthday is coming along, and you can actually start proposing options before that. And basis on the interaction of a user with that communication, you propose more options, and then you actually sort of navigate them. Like you take the customer through a journey where you're actually able to pinpoint them to a precise option. I think that's a wonderful experience, and people remember those experiences, and that's what brings them to the platform again and again, and the flywheel sort of goes up.
Wonderful. What a gratifying process, actually. So, Avi, again, in such a unique industry space like gifting, what does it take really for a brand to differentiate yourself from competition? Surely everyone has equal access to tech, to innovation. So what are really some of the differentiating factors?
it is common for everyone, and yet a differentiator, it's the customer service, customer delight.
Nice. Yes.
While everybody aims for it, but can you really make it happen? And make it happen every time the customer interacts with you across touch points. That is really the differentiator. Now, to get that done, the differentiator is the MarTech that you use. To get that done, it is the data that flows into the MarTech,
Yes.
which is super important because, like he was mentioning, we've got data of the last, we've been in the business for the last 30 years now, and there is a lot of data that is available for us to then personalize, hyper personalize, and also to learn from and then innovate
Sure.
further. So that again is a strength that is there. And the third, which you mentioned earlier, was the innovation piece, which is product innovation. How is it that you can continue to innovate, continue to be the leader in the market, and give something fresh and new every time that delights?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Wonderful. So, Abhishek, before we wrap up, are there any insights you can leave us with when it comes to future innovations that we can look forward to in MarTech, especially when dealing with certain e-commerce brands? Let's look at gifting for the
See,
sake
I
of
think
this
there is one
conversation.
change that is occurring as we speak, right? Which is the increased use of artificial intelligence
Yes,
and machine
yes,
learning.
absolutely.
Not just generative AI. We use generative AI, but we also use AI in other forms and shape. And what we have done is, we have recognized that there is a massive amount of data that we have. We have to be able to store it, process it, but we have to bring it to bear.
Yeah.
And the most efficient way in which we can bring it to bear for the brands that we work with is using artificial intelligence. And today, that basically will allow brands to scale the personalized
Yes,
experience. Because
yes.
one thing is, I want to deliver personalized experiences, but I want to be able to deliver it in an effortless manner.
Yes.
And that is the biggest problem that we are trying to solve for the brands today.
Sure. Wonderful. Well, lots to look forward to. Thank you so much. Thank you, gentlemen, for being on ET Studio. Such a pleasure to have you today.
Thank you very
Likewise.
much.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank you.